Hello and welcome to the Fish Nerds, show about fish, fishing, and eating fish. I'm Clay Groves, Chief Executive Fish Nerd, licensed fishing guide, friend to fishes, friend to everyone. It is day 20 of National Podcast Posting Month. 20 days. I don't think I've ever done anything for 20 days in a row. But today's show is kind of a little different because I got the chance the other day to go with my wife and kids to visit a brand new aquarium. And the aquarium is called the Living Shores Aquarium. It's in Glen, New Hampshire, part of Storyland. It's a for-profit aquarium. And I kind of wanted to give you first impressions. I'm actually going to have my 9-year-old daughter, Sam, give her first impression of the new aquarium. Sam, what did you think about the Living Shores Aquarium?
Well, there was a big bird cage, and since they had since they had one bird cage, I'm just like, why isn't there two?
Well, why don't you skip to the beginning? What was your first impressions? You walked in the front door. What did you think of the aquarium? Did you like the aquarium?
I did like the aquarium, and I really liked how they had a lot of touch tanks.
And so you like the touch tanks. What kind of animals were in the touch tanks?
There was Dr. Fish.
And what is a Dr. Fish?
They nibble your hand. They nibble on you, and it feels like you're getting a massage.
Yeah, they had that was one of my favorites. A Dr. Fish.
They tickle so much.
They do tickle. You get 100 little fish on your hands and stuff. And in Europe, Dr. Fish are used for massages, things like that. Not legal in this country to sell Dr. Fish tank experiences. Unless you're doing a touch tank, apparently. What other animals did you see?
There was rays.
A touch tank of rays, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. What else?
There was crabs, lobsters.
Mm-hmm. Rock lobster.
There was,
Otters?
Yes, there was otters, but those weren't in a touch tank.
No, that's too bad, because I would love to snuggle with those otters. Yeah, super cute. Yeah. Well, so overall, did you like it or dislike it?
I loved it.
She loved it overall. Okay, thank you, Sam. So that's Sammy's first impression of the aquarium. The reason I'm doing that is because today's Fish in the News is actually about the aquarium. So stay tuned for some NaPodPoMo daily Fish in the News.
News, fish in the news. Everybody loves their fish in the news.
Okay, and this is from New Hampshire's Union Leader, the largest newspaper in the state. Animal rights protesters target Living Shores Aquarium at Storyland. Written by John Koziol, Union Leader. Two animal rights groups held a protest Saturday outside the new Living Shores Aquarium at Storyland, questioning the commitment to animal welfare and giving special nod to Lolita and Orca in Miami. From noon to about 2 p.m., about 10 people representing New Hampshire's Animal Rights League and Until Lolita is Home stood on the side of Route 16 in front of the aquarium, some holding signs that read, among other messages, "Animals are not our entertainment," "Otters belong in the wild," and "Freedom matters to all." The protest generated no confrontations. A Bartlett police officer in a marked vehicle was in the Storyland parking lot nearby. Protesters did not get many honks of support from passing drivers, and at least one very loud, very clear expression of opposition from the driver of a bright red pickup truck. So someone wrote back, probably drove by and said, "Get a job." James Glover, president of Until Lolita is Home of the NHARL, a nonprofit founded in 1977, based in Concord, with some 200 members, said Living Shores, which just opened on November 4th, should close its doors forthwith. Well, it said it should close its doors. That sentence is hard to read. Basically, they want them to close right away. Glover said Palace Entertainment, the corporate parent of Storyland, the Living Shores Aquarium and Miami Seaquarium, where Lolita is, should release Lolita from the tank she has called home for more than 40 years so that she can retire to her native Washington state waters. I'm curious what would happen to an orca who's been in captivity for 40 years if you put it in the wild. Could it even survive? So that's a whole other question to solve. Glover of Raymond said Lolita's fate was the subject of a 2015 protest by his group at Storyland. Founded in 1954, operated by the Morrill family until 2007, Storyland's own by the Parks Reunidos organization based in Spain. Who knew? That's all I'm going to read on that story. I should say, in full disclosure, this aquarium really excited me. I got when they were planning an opening, I actually interviewed for a job as education director at the Living Shores Aquarium. And the difference between this aquarium and a lot of other aquariums is this is a for-profit entertainment facility. So the protesters really are all about saying, hey, this is not an education facility. This is an entertainment facility, and they are accurate in that. I might be a little biased in favor of the protesters because they didn't hire me, but that's just me. We did visit the aquarium the other day. I'll give you my first impressions after.
News, fish in the news. Everybody loves their fish in the news.
Okay, so here's my review of the new Living Shores Aquarium. I liked it, but for the price point, I felt like I paid twice its value. And the amount. So we took a family of 4 into the aquarium, and it was about $25 a head. We ended up dropping about $100. It was like $98 to get in the aquarium. And so for $98, I would expect a few solid hours of fishy fun. And the aquarium is not big enough for a few hours of fishy fun. We had about maybe a good solid 45 minutes, and then we kind of dragged it out longer because we spent so much money. But the entire time I was there, I kept thinking, God, I spent so much money. And spending that much money actually made it less interesting for me. My other impression is they're learning. The floor staff were all very, very nice, but they need to work on their shtick a little bit. And the New Hampshire Freshwater Fishes exhibit needed a lot of work. It looked like a rough draft of an exhibit. There were typos on the signs, the fishy imagery on the signs. Whoever did this photoshopping cut off entire sections of fishy fins. I'll be posting some of those pictures up at the Fish Nerds Facebook group saying, what's wrong with this picture? So yeah, not great first impression. When you go in, you see a typo on one of the very first signs you see. I did like the fish. I did enjoy them. I thought that their freshwater fish exhibit included a total of 1 native fish. And so I would like to have seen more focus on some native fishes in New Hampshire, and not just trout. That was the only native fish I saw. Someone told me there was a bullhead in there, but I could not find it. So I'd like to see more focus on that. They had an atrium, which Sammy really liked. But again, it only had a few birds in it, and they were all in cage. It felt like the atrium felt like going into Petco, about the same level of bird interaction as Petco. So, but the Dr. Fish, as Sam was stating earlier, were terrific. The touch tank of rays, I like that a lot. I love touch tanks, so I'm a big fan of that. Otters were super cute because they're otters. They had good reef tanks, and it was a beautiful place. Staff was very nice. And I'd probably be less critical if it wasn't overpriced. So we won't be going back if we're paying full price. If I can get free tickets, great. But I have a feeling they're not going to sponsor this podcast after this review. Now, some people would say that aquariums are unethical, right? Using fish for entertainment is an unethical move. And they might be right. But I would argue that any kind of, if that's true, then obviously everything I do is unethical because fishing is using fish as entertainment, and I probably unethical as well to those people, and that's fine. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because we're running an unethical fishing contest. We want you to call the Fish Nerds hotline, 607-378-FISH, and tell us the most unethical thing you've ever seen whilst fishing, or someone else did, whether it's something you did or somebody else did. That's fine. Call the number. Best story wins this time. Last time I did it, and I chose a random draw. So kind of bring it back a little bit. This fall, John King, the crappie hippie, Vinny, my ice fishing business partner, and Rich Collins, our fly fishing correspondent, we all got on the pontoon boat and did some fishing. And while on the boat, we recorded people's thoughts on unethical fishing for this contest, told some stories. And I want you to hear their stories, and then I want you to call in the Fish Nerds hotline and try to win. So far, we've only got about 8 entries. Prizes for this contest include a Fish Nerds beanie, some lead-free lures from Glasswater Angling, and some decals and some other swag. I'll put a box of crap together and mail it out to you. So enjoy this little bit from recorded live on the Fish Nerds Fishing Barge. Okay, just a reminder to you that we are having a ethical fishing contest this month. Callers call in to 607-378-FISH and tell us the most unethical thing you've ever seen while fishing. Vinny, what's the most unethical thing you've ever seen while fishing?
You don't know. I'll have to think about that. I fish with ethical people, so nothing really comes to mind.
Yeah. So Vinny is a very, he chooses his people carefully. But anyway, if you've ever seen anything unethical happen while fishing with your lead, catching a fish and dropping on the deck of the boat twice and letting it go, whatever it happens to be, call up 607-378-FISH and tell us what it was. Now, last month, we held a contest, and it was your least favorite fishing phrase contest. Although the crappy hippie told me I've said it wrong twice, and it was your favorite fishing phrase. I don't care. It's my show. But the crappy hippie does not agree with my assessment of the winner of that contest. I did a random draw, but the crappy hippie has demanded that there be a second winner to that contest. So I'm going to play that honorable mention right after John tells us why.
Well, because the gentleman that put in about a good day fishing, our bad day fishing is better than a good day at work, and talking about getting hooked in the face, he had me laughing out loud. I mean, to the point of tears. And it was just like good stand up. And by golly, that man deserves a prize, and I'm going to give him an honorable mention. And get him
fun fact. It hurts John to laugh, so that's why he cries. He's a little bit older than most people, so laughing till he cries is pretty much every time he laughs.
Hey, Clay, I hate the phrase, well, the worst day fishing's better than the best day working. No, it's not. My worst day fishing, I've had hooks embedded in my face. That's never happened at work. My best day at work, we had like a nacho bar, and somebody brought in cake. That was way better than catching a treble hook to the face. That's a garbage saying. Thanks for being you, Clay. Awesome. Bye.
Okay, and this caller, as funny as he was, didn't catch his name. So if you're the one calling in and you want to win this contest, you got to tell us your name. If this is you, if you're the one who was funny, send me an email, clay@fishnerds.com. Confirm it's you. I will send you your package out, whoever you are. Damn funny stuff, though. Rich Collins, what's the most unethical thing you've ever seen while fishing?
Oh, I don't think I can say for fear of telling tales, fish tales that aren't left to be told. But no.
You don't have to name names.
It's all connected, man. We're all one big world.
What we're finding more and more is that sometimes on this show, if we tell a story and we don't say the person's name, there are listeners or friends of the show who assume it's them we're talking about. Is that kind of where you're...
It's exactly where we're at. I fish with a lot of people, and they're all pretty ethical, but we all do stupid things. So I think the most unethical thing I do is sometimes when I'm wearing my waders, I have to sneak a pee, so I stand and pretend I'm fishing when I'm really peeing. Which is slightly unethical, but when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Peeing in your waders.
No. You kind of roll them down and you kind of do your thing, but you're in the middle of the river and there's guys fishing all around you, but you can't wade out of the river, so you just kind of pretend you're fishing, fly cast, and you just kind of that's pretty unethical, right?
Fishing or peeing is normal.
In front of people.
We got laws,
Now, I think in New Hampshire, the law is you can't pee into a body of water, but it's perfectly legal to pee in the woods. Really? But people pee on the ice all the time. So is peeing on the ice the same as peeing in a body of water?
Yes. It's like saying ice isn't water, It's a different state, so it makes it okay.
Yeah.
How in the world? I mean, how many cubic gallons of water are in this thing? I mean, really? I can understand not letting septic into the lake, but, I'm old. I may not make it to shore.
No one makes it to shore. I'd be shocked if anyone got off a boat to pee.
What if you pee your shorts, then jump in and swim? Is that the same? Is that...
I don't know. Like, what if your dog takes a dump on the boat and you wash that into the lake? What's that? Is that ethical?
That's salmonella introduction.
I had a guy I used to fish with. He'd have me tow him behind the boat real slow if he had to go to number 2. You'd be out in the middle of the lake. He's like, I ain't running all the way to shore. It took us forever to get out here. He goes, just tow me behind the boat a ways.
Like you put him in the water, like with no pants on?
He would take off his pants, get in the water, hang on to the rope. We just troll him a little ways, let him climb back the rope. Well, the first time he did it, he was sitting still. He told me, and you know he had a high carbohydrate problem, and got him at a school of floaties. So he said, from now on, I have people tow me along. And I'm like, well, okay. I think we've gone off ethical, but maybe
No, I want to sit here and let you talk, John. Just keep going.
Well, that's just a tactic you can use. I mean,
Now, is that chumming?
Depends on what you're fishing for.
Well, if you're obviously using corn.
You're giving people all kinds of ideas here.
Well, anyway, I would consider that unethical and also uncomfortable. That's a different
Awkward to hear about. Awkward
It's like a bidet built into a swimming hole, right?
That's right. Lakes are nature's bidet. Fun fact. All right, thank you, fish nerds. I wish we hadn't said this. Okay, good. That was a lot of fun. We actually have tons of little segments like this we recorded on the boat, and I'll be mixing them into future podcasts going forward in December once we get finished with NaPodPoMo, National Podcast Posting Month. And if you want to be part of this, we got 10 days left. There's still time. Grab your phone, push record, and record a fishing news story for us. Now we'll mix it into the show. When you email it to me at clay@fishnerds.com, please send links and any other information you want us to have. Thank you, and Fish Nerds out.